I'm gonna come by the camera, Steve, really fast here. I just got the throttle wide open here. Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
All right, let's see. Rolling it around. Just awesome. Hey guys, Rich here at RCINFORMER. We are back home here in Florida. Got Steve on the camera, and today I'm going to show you the brand new 1600mm Flightline F4U Corsair running on 6 cells. We had this at Joe Knoll. It was flying awesome. It's the first time I've had it out since we've been back, and Steve's never seen this. So Steve, ask questions if you got them, because we're going to talk about a couple things on this. Guys, this thing is nice. It went together real easy. I think there was only like 4 screws to get the elevator, 4 screws for the vertical, and 4 screws for the wing with a spar going through with, you know, those serial type connectors you just plug in, and then that was it. The hardest thing on this plane was just getting the stickers on, and they are stickers, and even though stickers are a pain in the butt, these actually went on the plane pretty darn nice overall. So a couple nice features on it. The antennas, Steve, I don't know if you can get in on this thing, but the antennas plug right in. I don't know if you can see that there, to a plastic. And it's awesome because you can take them off. I put them in a bag, and I put it in the airplane up front when I transport it. Same thing with this back one, it comes off. So no more gluing stuff into foam with this airplane. It all just kind of goes right in, and you can take them off for transport. Nice pilot in there overall. I'm going to flip it over real quick and show you the landing gear, partially because I want to get it a little bit out of the sun. The wind's blowing pretty hard. You can see where your 4 wing screws are here. There's a sight window here, which I guess Corsairs had originally, and the landing gear is pretty nice. You can see the compression of the gear is really good, and the tires, I don't know if Steve, you can get in on those tires, but they have a nice tread pattern, and they're kind of a spongy-ish foam, which is real nice. They've been real nice on grass, help with the shock of landing and all that. Probably my only complaint about the airplane, if I had one, was back there at the tail wheel. I'd like to see it with a gear door back there, but other than that, it's really nice. Gear doors and everything operate. Let me go ahead and retract the gear so you guys can see what this looks like. It takes a second. I flip the switch, and you can see how nicely they go back in there. Doors close and everything. And just awesome. There's some really nice detail on the exhaust stacks down here, but you can take this apart for transport. These are big doublers here with the 4 screws, so you can pop those out. The wings do separate and come apart. One thing I do want to note to everybody on the underside, since I'm here, you notice I put a little bit of fuel tube on all these free wing models. I'm starting to double. I don't know if Steve, you can get in on that. I'm starting to double my fuel tube to keep those things on there. And then the aileron, one more comment I want to make here. I went 2 holes in. I went to the middle hole right there, if you can get that. You got that all right, Steve? Because guys are dialing the resolution way back to, you know, 70, 60, 50%, whatever, to get the right travel. And if you go in a couple holes, you can go back to 100%, and you have much better, finer control of the ailerons that way. And other than that, everything else mostly is stock. I'm going to extend the landing gear. Let me get that out of there, let that come out. There we go. They rotate real nice and come out. One comment I want to make, and I'll probably stick an overlay in here, is right here on the cowling. When you unscrew your cowling here, there's little weight holes here, and I'll probably put an overlay here so you guys can see that. But it lets you put extra cylindrical weights in there, and it comes with an additional 2. I think it has 4 ounces in there. I put the additional weight in here because I think it flies a whole lot better with a little bit of forward CG. And my CG, speaking of CG, mine is right about on this. Steve, can you see these 2 lines? Right about on that forward line, and probably just a little bit slightly farther forward of that. And I think it flies better there, a little bit more stable there. And you can change your, like I said, you can put weights in there. And inside the battery compartment here, I'm going to try and keep this thing from blowing away here. Steve, I'm going to stand this up because I'm hoping that you can get in here. Let me try and put it up in such a way. Steve, can you get in on these 2 servos right there? You got those okay? Okay, one is for the rudder, okay, and one is for the elevator right there. The elevator used to have this link on there, but as you see, the easy connector, I had no adjustment to it at all, and guys were dialing that back to like 60% travel or less, because a Corsair doesn't need a lot of elevator travel. So I ended up changing the servo on my F4 Phantom, and I took the horn off of that and put it on this airplane and put an easy connector, borrowed from George Baker, Tired Iron Aviation, so he'll help me out there, Joe Knoll. But you can see I've got a much closer distance, less distance from the easy connector to the center. And now my travel is such that I can put in even 125% travel, get that resolution back and fly with the elevator with the proper travel. So I think I have 125, 100, and 100, and let's see, I got 125, 100, and I think 80% or something for the low rate, and I think it flies good at best at 100. This is the smoothest anyway. But you can see the junction box in here. Steve, can you get in on all that? Can you see that? That's the junction box. There's where your two wing connectors plug into, and just real nice. The battery I have in here is an Admiral Carbon 5100. You can run up to 6,000 or even higher on this plane because it needs the nose weight up here to make up for the lack that there is not really a large radial engine in there. You probably can't see it, but I added a few extra screws around my battery tray down into the wood in there just to kind of keep it in place. And I am running some telemetry here. I'm running the, I have the Admiral 7-channel receiver in here, and there's a telemetry module you can see here that fits between the battery and the ESC, and the other one plugs into the receiver there. And then I actually have a temperature meter, a temperature probe I should say, and all I did for that, Steve, get on in there again, is I stuck it right under that battery floor, the battery strap I mean. And you can put it anywhere, it'll read temperature. Not that you need temperature. Most importantly, what you need is the amp usage, your amp draw, and so forth. And that's all supplied by this thing here. So this thing that Motion is selling that comes with this thing is actually pretty nice because it's a one kind of piece unit. I just Velcro it. I got some Velcro on the inside wall of this thing, and it just Velcros in and kind of stays to the side. And with that, I think we can probably go fly. I'm going to pull up my telemetry here and see if it's pulling up. And in fact, Steve, I'm going to show you the display. Let's get in on that. So to get your telemetry set up, initially when you start this up with the Admiral receivers with the telemetry, it'll give you an option to link it. But as you scroll your wheel, it gives you all those parameters right here. So as I flip through, I think it's the last flight pack capacity. Let's see if it's reading here. Let me put the throttle up and turn it up a little bit. So that's going to tell you your current, your max current, and then that number 2 right there where it says capacity. Can you see that okay? Is that focused okay? That's telling you how much you've used. So you can kind of watch that, and I don't want my plane to fly away there. But that'll give you your actual amp uses, your actually amp load at the time, your max amp load, and that'll give you your capacity. The only problem with this page is it's small. So trying to see it sometimes when you're flying it is tough because you got to look down or have someone help you with it. But that's your basically your battery usage right there. So and I think that's it. You can scroll through all these other pages. It's got altitude, all kinds of other stuff that honestly is so small, it's really kind of hard to see. Actually, that's a pretty big display for altitude. But anyway, there's a lot of parameters. There's the temperature there, the pack, because I put the probe next to the pack. So anyway, there's a lot of good info and stuff that you can look at all the way around. But again, we've used, what is it, 20 milliamps now out of a 51 pack. So actually, I don't remember if there's a total voltage. Yeah, that's the other one. Is you can see what my my voltage is right now, so you know you have a fully charged battery. So anyway, it's a nice telemetry unit. It's just a little small because of the DX9 display, but we'll try to keep an eye on that as we go and fly it. But you ready to go, Steve? Let me check out my controls. Let's see, we're right for right, left for left, up, down, left, right. I'm just running this thing 6-channel, guys. That's all I'm doing. It's flight-wise 6-channel, but I did take. Actually, let's go back on that. I did take my tail wheel servo. I don't know if you can see the wheel there, Steve. And I split my tail servo up with my rudder and put it on the knob like I usually do, so I can trim that rudder wheel. I don't know if you're seeing that, Steve, but I can trim my rudder for steering out on the, it's not gonna matter today with the grass and the wind so much, but on pavement, that'll make a difference. So I'm gonna go mid-rates on everything for now. So right aileron, left aileron, up elevator, down elevator. Let's check our flaps. Flaps create quite a bit of drag on this plane, so you really don't even need to use them so much, but they are cool. You can see how nice those flaps are. They're all interconnected. There's 2 servos driving all 3 of those segments, so it's really nice. So let me do a quick run up here, Steve. I got my throttle kill here off. I think it might have enough power. What do you think? We'll leave it out here. Here, come on out here, Steve, to the flight line, and we'll just fly it right down the runway here. and I think we're pretty much down the runway, Steve. I think we're good for now. We might change to a diagonal or something as we go, but let's taxi on out here. And if you want to get next to me, Steve, you got the mic. There you go. Excellent. We'll taxi this baby on out. You see it? Take a look at that elevator real quick. You see my elevator travel? Corsairs just don't need a lot of travel. In fact, it'll even fly well on the low rate right here. So changing that servo horn like I did was really necessary. That's my maximum there. So you can imagine with that long servo horn how much throw that had. And like I said, it was just killing the darn resolution of this thing. So, but ground handling's real nice. You can see here on grass, it's just awesome. I mean, it drives around nice. Even with this, let's see if I can turn it around, even with this wind, just for the heck of it. It might be a little challenge, but because the wind's coming from our right there. But no, it handles nice. It's got a nice big rudder on it. So, all right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me pull up. Just gonna get it around. You can, look at the lights. Can you see those lights? Okay. Those are blaring at me. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but nice landing light. These look great at dusk. So, okay, guys. Steve and I are kind of editing the video at this point. We just went ahead and put in. We're gonna put this clip in. The reason for it is we lost our audio on the entire flight, so we didn't have anything. So we came out here on a different day just to do the full flight demo for everybody. I'm checking my controls now, making sure everything's good. I'll put one setting of flaps in. You ready, Steve? Yeah. All right, I got mid rates on everything. Man, you really can see those lights. Look at those things. Isn't that crazy? Oh, it's middle of the day. Was it 1 o'clock in the afternoon? Yep. All right, taking off. Oh, let me show you one more thing before I do that. Steve, can you see this telemetry okay? Yep. Can you see the screen? All right, I'm going to scroll down to the last screen. You can see it says I use 700 milliamps, okay, out of the pack. So this last page where it says flight pack capacity, is that focusing? Mm-hmm. That's the real page that tells you what you've used on your telemetry module. So the Motion RC one, the Admiral one that's plugged in there. So that's really pretty functional. So anyway, here we go, Steve, taking off. Let me get my battery strap, my neck strap back in. Here we go, taking off. Easing that power in. Wind's the opposite direction today, so there we go. Up on the wheels, it takes right off. I'm only about half power. Gear and flaps are coming up. It still is a little windy today, but it's the opposite direction. So I got to get this trimmed because it's been sitting in the house, and I think me and Steve side loaded the gear last time, and we bent one of those pins, so I kind of messed with it and fixed it. Let me get this full throttle trimmed. Usually trim it full throttle. That's the best way to go. Bring it back. The reason for trimming it full throttle is when you back off on the power, the airplane has a tendency to nose down. Usually puts you in a real good landing attitude that way. Hopefully we're getting sound this time for everybody.
Looks like it.
Yeah, so I got the full flaps in right now. You can see those are like barn doors. Look at this thing slow down. We're getting a little crosswind here. Yeah, it's hard with that gust, but they will slow this thing down almost to an unnecessary slow speed. I'm going to power up, throw the flaps up, just nose it up, and you can see the kind of power you get out of this thing. It's just awesome. We got good cloud reference today here too, Steve, so yep. You guys will be able to really see kind of what the airplane's doing. I'm going to come by the camera, Steve, really fast here. I just got the throttle wide open here. Yeah, that sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
All right, let's see. Rolling it around. Just awesome. And this is that Admiral Carbon 5100, and it seems to have good weight in this. We'll probably do another video here with a 6,000 pack in there because it needs that little bit of nose weight in there. It is a little bit pitchy. You can see it's getting rocked around. I got no flight stabilizer in this thing, folks, so it is a little windy out here at the Brevard County dump. All right, we'll come by kind of clean here. Whoa, whoa, that was a gust. It's getting windier on us here, Steve.
I see that.
Wow, that was a lot of wind for. There's no obstruction in the way either. That's weird. All right, we'll come by fast again. Hopefully we're picking up that sound. This thing does make a monster sound, folks. Wow, look at that thing. Look at that windsock. Do a half Cuban here at the end. Power's back. We have the power off here. Power's coming back in slowly. Going straight up. Gonna roll it going up. I'm going to put full aileron rate to get the most roll out of it I can. And we'll come back down here. It sure seems louder today, didn't it, than the other day?
Yep.
Doesn't it? I mean, for some reason, it's making a lot more noise. Hopefully we'll pick that up. It is windy. Those trees out there are very far away. I doubt those are creating turbulence, but I got hit by something back there. All right, let's do, Steve, touch and go out front. It's real windy conditions here. It's just the wind is opposite. Actually, it's kind of a right crosswind for us here, so, but not bad. Landing gear's down. Power's coming in. I'm doing this clean, guys. No flaps at all. It's windy. Yeah, wind's beating us up. I'll take that. What I'll do is I'll taxi it on back, Steve. Take a look at the telemetry, how we're doing. This plane will fly for quite a while because it's pretty efficient. I'm using more power today though because it is windy. Let's take a look real quick. See what I've used. Can you read that? 2660?
Yep.
So a little more than halfway through the pack. A little more than halfway through the flight even. So okay, let's take off and do a little more with it. It is windy today. Take off with no flaps. This is a no flap kind of day. The flaps just slow it down too much. I want full ailerons in there so I don't get the plane rolled over with this wind. Taking off! Sticks back. I'm coming forward with it just a little bit. Power's coming in, gear's coming up. Landing gear's coming up here. There it is. Slowly let those doors come up. Let's see if I can give you an inverted pass here, Steve. Roll it upside down. Handle's inverted nicely. That inverted gull wing, when you're inverted in a Corsair, becomes a gull wing. So it's actually it's pretty stable upside down. It's like having a high wing gull wing airplane when you're doing this kind of thing in a Corsair. So in fact, it seems to be flying more stable inverted today than it is right side up even. Because that dihedral's pretty big, and when the wind gets under it, it tends to really rock this plane around. Let me see if I can point roll it here. Real nice flying plane. Yeah, the guys at Motion RC and Flightline, they're making some nice airplanes there for sure. Nice warbirds. I'll do some steep turns, Steve, out front. See if I can get these going into the wind, a little crosswind here. Actually, we've got quite a bit of a crosswind. Turn it and come on in here. I got the thing firewall doing this just because I just don't want to slow it down with this wind gusting the way it is. Yeah, it's flying nice. What a nice model. It's handling the wind pretty good, pretty decently. I mean, if you put a flight stabilizer in this thing, you'll definitely have a nice stable flying plane. Let me come by fast, Steve. One more time here. Power's in. That's tailwind. Come by fast into the headwind. Going vertical. Sorry, Steve. Should have told you. Sorry about that. You got it?
Yep.
Yeah, sorry for the neck bender there. Look at what it'll do. Look at that. Holy crap, what's it doing? Oh my god, oh my god. That's just me doing that here. See if I can recover from all that. Just stirring the sticks, baby. Woohoo! Nice flying airplane. All right, Steve, we might be towards the end of the battery. Let me go ahead and bring it on in. Hey, let me do a full stop with it and check my battery here. Gear's coming down. No flaps once again. I want to carry some speed on this. I'll take that. Real nice. And yeah, that's awesome. Guys, whatever the takeoff time was, you know, to the landing here, just look at that, and that's kind of what the flight time is. I'll taxi it on back here. And awesome plane. That maneuver's great. Holy smokes. Good airplane. We'll stick a 6,000 in it here and go. Let me put that in a pose for you. Let's look at this. Let's see what our telemetry module is. We're at, what does that say? 43 something out of a 5100 pack. So I kind of went into the pack a bit. But the interesting thing, folks, is that the last time Steve and I did this, we went way into the pack, and that's more than 80%. But we still had, on the Admiral pack here, we had, I think we still had 15% left, Steve, or something?
17.
So it's almost like the 5100 carbon pack was actually rated, and it was cool. It wasn't real hot or anything. It's like the 5100 carbon pack seems to be actually rated higher than the 51 because it's kind of a big battery. Steve, let me plug this in. And let's see what we're at here. I'll bring it over to you here because I'm still getting used to these batteries. What's that say? I don't have my, let me get my old guy reading glasses on.
Hang on.
Are you getting on that? Oh, it says 28%. So it said that we burned, the telemetry may not be calibrating right. Can you see that okay?
Yep.
Yeah, 28%, 3.7. So we went 4,300 or so into a what is it, a 5100 carbon pack Admiral. And we still got 28%. So either the meter's not reading right correctly, as correct as it ought to be, or, you know, there's more than 5100 in these carbon packs, because Steve and I seemed to see that the last time we were out here. So, but anyway, guys, check this thing out at Motion RC. It's an awesome airplane. We're going to put a 6000 pack and try it on a 6000 pack with a little more weight in it and a little more flight time. But just for the flight time, guys, just take a look at when we took off to when we landed. You know, we did a landing in the middle, and that'll tell you what really the flight time is on this thing. But overall, guys, superior airplane, really nice model. Again, check it out at motionrc.com. Flightline model, 1600mm Corsair. Steve, thanks for filming, and as always, guys, we will see you next time.